attention glows in the face of everyone, everyone. I caught your soul in the face of everyone, but it's your turn to run. I wish love was an easy song to write, 'cause I'd have pages worth of words that were not lies. Your name would be the melody that's on my tongue. Oh, if love was a simple song. There are no words have been written or been sung that my ears have heard, or I've cheapened with my tongue, that hold the weight of this thing that we call love. Oh, love's not a simple song, but my songs feel, though not pretty or poetic, I hope you know it's true. I'm not perfect in my ways, and I let you down most days. I know it's true, but darling, I love you. And I've got a rhythm and a melody I like, but without you by my side, there's no harmony or rhymes. Just a freight train rolling down the tracks of a lonely night. Oh, love, you are worth the fight, 'cause my songs feel, though not pretty or poetic, I hope you know it's true. I'm not perfect in my ways, and I let you down most days. But know it's true, but darling, I love you.
Hello, Isaac.
Whoa. Hey, hello. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing great.
Good. And welcome to people that are jumping online.
Welcome, welcome.
Yes, getting your streams going, and I'm jumping on, and I'm going to see who's here with us. Okay.
Got a few folks coming in online as well as a few folks here in the room. And
yes.
And then Glenn's waving at us from the back. Hi, Glenn.
Hi, Glenn. And Isaac, right now, because some people are watching this later, right now it is 6:24 on Thursday.
Thursday night. Guess what's happening?
It's huge rain.
Raining.
Yes.
If you can hear it, it's not like a little bitty raindrop. It's like big fat raindrops, like.
Yeah, you just walked here from students.
And I got hit in the eyeball. It didn't feel good.
Fun.
No.
That sounds
I was
fun.
like, oh, I hope I can see.
Is it hailing?
Glad it, not yet. It was pretty, didn't even feel firm. It was just water. Just water.
Yeah. Okay, so on Thursday nights, we have students. That's where you are.
Yeah,
on
that's right.
Thursday nights. Like, it's fun when we get you to swing in and host services with us. But you do, students, tell us about Thursday nights.
Thursday nights have been a lot of fun out there in the Student Center. We have a lot of incredible kids, loads of fun playing some games.
My kids are out there.
Yeah, your kids are out there. My daughter, my oldest, is out there right now.
Good.
And she brings pretty much the whole neighborhood with her.
I love
and so after tonight, I get to drive home about 6 or 8. How many seatbelts do I have? I have 6. That's usually how many kids I'm taking home. So
I'll take my nephews home, so I feel...
You feel your
I
van?
just have to, I have to get here early enough that it's like, if you can get yourself here, I'll give you a ride home.
Yeah, it's a blast. We have a good time out there. Play a little game called Gaga Ball. You ever played Gaga Ball?
Oh, yes.
It's kind of like...
Actually, I've never played.
It's kind of like dodgeball, but...
Is it?
Not really. It's kind of like... I'm trying to figure... What's a game that you like smack? It's kind of like volleyball, upside down volleyball in a pit. But instead of trying to hit it on the floor, you're trying to hit the other participants. Yeah, so it's kind of like dodgeball and volleyball, but upside down. So it's pretty fun. So you smack a ball around and have a good time.
I usually watch. Yeah, what is this? Oh, good. I've only watched Gaga Ball from outside of the pit.
Yeah. The kids keep asking me to play on Thursday night. And
do you get in there?
No, I did once.
We're just getting a little old.
The issue is that you're bent over the whole time, and my lower back just doesn't like that anymore.
Right. Hey, what about Father's Day? What'd you do?
Oh, Father's Day was amazing. It was so fun. We got to go for a bike ride as a family.
Okay.
Got the whole family on our bikes, and we rode down to Music City Hot Chicken in Fort Collins.
Yes.
I love that place.
Hi, Cindy.
And
Cindy Gibson. I'm just saying hello.
And then we didn't eat it there. We got it to go, and then we rode over to the park and ate it outside, and then we went to another park and played on the playground, and we just kind of tooled around all afternoon. And what you got there, Dennis?
Hey,
Dennis. Is that ice cream?
Dennis is grabbing my dinner. Dennis, put that down. Hey, this is going to be fun tonight. Anything else you want to say about Father's Day?
It was just amazing. I really enjoyed it, and I got a lot of hugs from my kids.
Oh, I love it.
It's a blast.
I love it. We did our pizza party, so I have the Uni pizza oven.
Yeah.
We were flipping those. Chicago deep dish, some Detroit.
Detroit.
Out.
Tell us about, a lot of people know what the Chicago style is or New York style.
Well, the Chicago stuffed, so they don't necessarily realize that there is a thin crust underneath the sauce on top.
Right.
Right, so it's stuffed.
But tell us about Detroit style.
But the Detroit pizza, look it up. Detroit style pizza. I have a pan for it. It just is very crispy, so before you cook the dough, you top it with cheese, even a white cheddar around.
On the dough itself.
So that it grows up into this like crispy crust.
I see.
Then when you pull it out of the oven, you top it with racing stripes
of sauce.
It's beautiful. So anyway, it was just so good. I think every holiday for the next year, we're going to love all being together.
Yeah.
Having my parents over, just being together. We'll all be together tomorrow night, too, with an aunt in town.
That'll be a blast.
With aunts and uncles. So I'm excited.
Yeah?
Yes. Tonight is going to be fun. Dennis is speaking. So
Dennis Anderson?
Dennis Anderson.
The incredible Dennis Anderson?
Dennis Anderson is speaking on soul care. And so that's going to be really, really great. And what else?
It's going to be amazing.
Hey, we're going to be talking about this coffee over here.
Ooh, love it.
Yeah, we'll be talking more about our coffee partnership that happens on Sundays. Hey, if you come on Thursday nights and you want coffee, tell us, because we'll make it.
We'll make it.
We're
it's
happy
really
to make it. If I had a cup of this right now.
If you had a cup of this
right now? If I had one right now, I'd be up till tomorrow.
Well.
You could have some.
I could eat these beans right now. And I would enjoy it.
Do it. It's not open, so I'm not going to let him. All right, so we've got a great service ahead.
Excited
We're going to start
tonight.
in 1 minute. Let's get started.
We'll see you soon.
Welcome to Thursday night. Glad everybody's here. And if you're watching online, as Jess and Isaac welcomed you, I'd like to say a special welcome to you as well. If you're joining us on any of our platforms, social media platforms, thank you for being with us. You know, sometimes people ask, what's that Thursday night service all about? And part of the reason we do it is because we have an on-demand service that we want to put up on Thursdays and Fridays so that people can begin to experience our terrific weekend service before the weekend ever even arrives. And so, but the Thursday night service is a little different. Those of you who've experienced it know this. It's a very relaxed environment. So all of our music is on video, and some people prefer that. Some people don't like to sing. They don't like that part of our life together. So if that's you, come join us on a Thursday night. It's usually beautiful. It happens to be raining like now, which we're so thankful for. I'm glad it's raining. But keep the hail away, please. But we're glad you're here for the Thursday night service. It's a great service that we have in mind, and we're going to talk about soul care, the spirituality of soul care tonight. So glad that you're here.
Strangers, neighbors, our blood is one. Children of generations, of every nation, of kingdom come. So don't let your heart be troubled. Hold your head up high, don't fear no evil. Fix your eyes on this one truth. Our God is madly in love with you. So take courage, hold on, be strong. Remember where our help comes from. Oh, oh, oh.
Today, we gather to experience God's presence in community. We are a people who have come together, body and soul, responding to the Spirit's invitation to find rest. Some of us are strangers. Some of us are friends. Some of us are family. All of us are loved. All of us are welcome. All of us are friends of God. Every soul finds its true value in union with the Creator. In the care of God, your soul is safe. Your heart can be full. Today, our souls take courage as we lift our eyes and remember where our help comes from. Jesus, our redemption, light of heaven, friend forever.
Jesus, our redemption, our salvation is in His blood. Jesus, light of heaven, friend forever, His kingdom come. So don't let your heart be troubled. crossroads.com.
Yes. Well, welcome to Crossroads. Hi, everybody. I'm Jessica, and we want to welcome you to today's service. It is so good to be together with you here in the room and with those of you joining us online.
Yes, and hello, my name is Isaac, and I too am glad you are all here, and it's going to be a great weekend, and we have a lot of incredible things happening here at Crossroads, and really the best way to stay in touch with us, as we're going to go through some of the things that are coming up, but the best way to stay in touch with us in what's happening at Crossroads is through our Connect card. And so if you are here in the room when you walked in, you probably got a program, and there is a Connect card that looks a lot like this one, or if you're watching with us online, you can go to crossroadscolorado.com/gather to fill out the digital Connect card. And we would ask that all of us do that, whether this is your first time here or you've been coming here for a number of years. We would ask that everybody fill out that Connect card. It's just an incredible way to stay in touch. We can get prayer requests from you. You can get registration links for things that are coming up, as well as take the next steps that are happening after the service. So please fill out that Connect card now.
Yes, and you may notice that Isaac has a gigantic bag of coffee up here. And this isn't just regular coffee. This is coffee with a cause. And did
may
you
not be
just
staying here.
Wait, did
I
you
might be
just go
taking this
brew
home.
a pot though, really?
We did.
It's brewing now
or it's
done?
I think it's done now. But I
Too
did.
fun.
I just made some of the coffee because
Hey.
it's not only a cause, which you'll talk about
That's
in a
right.
second, but it's darn good.
Yeah, it's delicious. And we just launched it last weekend. We are committing to serving coffee from organizations that return a greater percentage of the coffee dollar to coffee farmers and cooperatives in developing areas of the world. And so we will be featuring different coffees with a cause. And the first one comes from Equal Exchange. And we are serving organic Ethiopian blend. This is going to be all regular tonight for you toughies.
And we actually started this last week, and we brewed this, and I may or may not have had 12 cups of said coffee last weekend.
Have you gone to sleep since then?
No, but I haven't missed it, really. Honestly, I've been much more productive, but it's
Listen,
it's an incredible group of coffee.
If it touches my tongue tonight, I'll be up till tomorrow.
So get this woman some coffee.
I like sleep mode.
Yeah.
But I dare any of you who are here to try it.
I would encourage you to as well. It's super good.
Yes.
So again,
also, we'd like to send you more information about this new coffee, or even if you want to be part of the coffee team, which is so fun, visit crossroadscolorado.com/coffee. And you can also check it on the back of your Connect card, and we will send you information. You can go to their website too, order a shirt, a sweatshirt, coffee, get your own stuff.
EqualExchange.coop is their website. That's what it says right there. Yeah, so anyway, great
Isaac.
things. We do. We encourage you to get involved with our Coffee with a Cause, whether that's partnering with them or hanging out with us and helping out serve that on the weekends. So, but that's not the only exciting thing we've got going on this summer.
Tell us about what's next.
Have you heard of this really crazy thing that we're going to be doing this summer called Adventure Camp? Have you heard of this?
Yes. I
it's
love Kids Adventure Camp.
Crossroads Kids Adventure Camp is incredible. We've got it coming up August 2nd through the 6th. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Not only are we doing the Crossroads Kids Adventure Camp, we are also doing Crossroads Teen Adventure Camp the same week. It's going to be a blast. We are so excited to have it. We hope that you will all get involved, and you can check out more information about what's going on with our adventure camps at crossroadscolorado.com/camps.
Yes, Isaac, I'm totally excited for camps. My family loves it, and it's not only an amazing week for the kids, it's truly a blast for the adults and the students that volunteer and serve for camps. It ends up our favorite summer activity too, and people I've met, friends I've met volunteering at Kids Adventure Camp. And what we do want to point out, because like 9 to noon can be like, I can't do it with work or whatever,
right?
But what we want to be real clear about is if you're available any of it, like to greet people on Wednesday morning, we would love to have you here.
Yeah, come
And
for
that's
whatever
really what
you
it
can.
takes to run camp is a variety of volunteerism and all of that. And it's really, really fun. It's also a great way to learn how to do things here, like technology in the room here. People have trained and served in the rallies, and then they're ready for the weekend.
Yeah.
It's a really cool opportunity. Now, if you want to register as a volunteer, or if you want to register campers, go to crossroadscolorado.com/camps.
Yeah. We hope to see you all there. It'll be a blast. Come hang out with us. And lastly, I just want to say thank you to all of you for your generosity. Your generosity funds an incredible mission here for not just this church, but for the area, for the entire area and beyond. Our global mission, in fact, is funded by your generosity. So thank you so much. Whether you give online or by check or by mail, or even by Venmo, we really do appreciate what you're doing for us and for the area, Northern Colorado, and our community here, as well as globally. So thank you for all of you, for all your generosity. And we will, I think that's the end of my announcement. Yeah. And you can also, I'm supposed to talk about this. The Wednesday, our check your inbox on Wednesday for our feed and all the incredible announcements that are coming
up. It's kind of an e-newsletter.
E-newsletter.
But if you're wondering what that is, we also call it the feed.
The feed.
Yes.
The e-newsletter.
So, well, anyway, it's always, every single time we are here together in person or together online, we love it. It just is so good to be together. And we're going to continue now with some more inspiring and wonderful music by our team. So glad you're here.
Thank you.
Everything I've seen, the good, bad, and in between, I trade it all for a moment with you. I've climbed the highest hills, I've been in the valley, and still nothing compares to a moment with you. 'Cause nothing else matters but being with you, and even the best things can't substitute. Jesus, your presence is all that we need. We don't want for anything here at your feet, 'cause nothing else matters. Ooh, nothing else matters. Ooh, you saw me at my worst. You came and loved me first. You changed it all in a moment with you. 'Cause nothing else matters but being with you. Even the best things can't substitute. Jesus, your presence is all that we need. We don't want for king of my heart be the mountain where I run, the fountain I drink from. Oh, he is my song. Let the king of my heart be the shadow where I hide, the ransom for my life. Oh, he is my song. You are good, good. Oh, you are good, good. Oh, you are good, good. Oh, you are good, good. Oh. Let the king of my heart be the wind inside my sails, the anchor in the waves. Oh, he is my soul. Let the king of my heart be the fire inside my veins, the echo of my days. Oh, he is my song. You are good, good. Oh, you are good, good. Oh, you are You're never gonna let me down. 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 And you are good, good. Oh, you are good, good. Oh, you are When the night is holding on to me, God is holding on. When the night is holding on to me, God is holding on.
They keep pointing to me to do something. Just tell me. Coffee. There's coffee here. Thank you. I thought they wanted me to close the curtains. There's coffee. If you'd like the coffee they just made, Equal Exchange Coffee, you could just get up right now and go get some. Be awesome. Well, I'm Dennis. Glad that you're joining us today as we enter into really week 7 of our series, The Happiness of Spirituality. And in the medical and mental health care settings, there's an evaluative scale that they use to determine one's grip on reality at any given moment. If you're in the healthcare field, you'll recognize this. They use a phrase that is alert and aware, and then they assign a number 1 to 4. So for instance, if you're in a car wreck or you're being evaluated for your mental stability, they'll ask you a series of questions. If you can answer the question, who are you? Like tell them your name. You're an alert and aware times 1. If you can answer the question, where are you? So if you're in a car wreck and you go, I'm in an ambulance, they would go alert and aware times 2. Or if the third question they'll ask you is, what day is it? And if you can answer that question, you are alert and aware times 3. And if you can answer all those questions and answer this one, do you know what's happening to you right now? Do you know what's going on? And you can answer that question, it's alert and aware times 4. How many of you are alert and aware times 0 until you've had your first cup of coffee in the morning? Yeah, or maybe you're alert and grumpy times 0 till you've had, yes, that's kind of the way I am. But I thought, what if we took this alert and awareness scale and applied it to our series on happiness? Are we alert and aware times 4? Do we have a firm grip on reality, on all the topics we've hit in this series? Are we alert and aware times 4 about the science of happiness and how it works with our spiritual life? Are we alert and aware times 4 when it comes to our connection to God, with our mindfulness, with our optimism, with our gratitude? Are we alert and aware times 4 when it comes to our physical health, well-being, or our character strengths? And last week, Pastor Ryan talked about our kindness quotient. Are we alert and aware? And it's all rooted in our anchor verse, Psalm 1, 1 and 2, which says, happy are those who do not follow the advice of the wicked, or take the path that sinners tread, or sit in the seat of scoffers, but their delight is in the law of the Lord, and on his law they meditate day and night. So today, we're going to look at what we're calling hallmark number 6 of spiritual happiness, personal soul care. Are we alert and aware of our soul, of the health of our soul, of the reality of our soul? Do we even know what our soul is? Do we think about it much? If I'm an alert and aware times 4 when it comes to my soul, I know who I am, my identity, my place in my family, my neighborhood, my world, my church. I know my purpose. I know what season I am in life. I know how my life connects to God's bigger story. I'm alert and aware times 4 if my soul has a firm grip on reality as God's designed and desire and infuses that reality. In fact, professor, author, and spiritual guide Dallas Willard, who I'm going to quote a lot tonight, said this: your soul is the most important thing about you. So evaluate yourself. Where are you right now? When it comes to alert and aware of your soul, alert and awareness of your soul, give yourself a number. I put it there. It's in the message notes. It's your first fill-in. Oh, no, it isn't. It's about the third one. The word soul actually is a bit of a weasel word. It's hard to nail down. You think you've got a hold of it, and it lurches away. And even though it's even though we have a hard time getting a hold of it, it's a very, very big concept and always has been through history. So we've all probably heard of Soul Town music. Yeah, we have. People like Diana Ross, Marvin Gaye, Gladys Knight and the Pips, Stevie Wonder. Aretha Franklin was called the Queen of Soul. We eat soul food, especially if you're in the South. This is a picture of soul food. Maybe it's because you're going to see your soul real quick if you keep eating that stuff. There's soul power and soul mates. There's a town in the country called Soul City. During an election cycle, the claim is often made, the soul of America is at stake. The CEO of ServiceMaster wrote a book titled The Soul of a Firm. Shortstop and team captain of the Yankees was often referred to as the soul of the Yankees. Anybody know who this is? Any baseball fans? Probably heard the name Derek Jeter. He's the soul of the Yankees. When a ship captain or airline pilot count the number of people aboard, they're on the manifest, it's called the number of souls on board. Apparently you can sell your soul, maybe to the company store. Or in one episode of The Simpsons, Homer sells his soul to the devil or someone playing the devil for a donut. And then he eats all the donut except for one piece, and he puts it in the refrigerator and with all these signs on it says, "Don't eat, don't touch. This could be the end of my soul if you do." You can buy a soul, apparently. A woman named Lori put her soul on eBay for sale. It's a true story. That is until eBay developed a no soul selling policy, so people had to stop doing it. She advertised her soul for $2,000. The question is, what would you get if you bought it? You can buy a soul. Here's a picture of one. Kia makes a car now called a soul for about 25 grand. You can actually buy a soul. According to the Harry Potter books and movies, anybody into Harry Potter at all? Yes. There are two things that can kill your soul. What are they? Here's a picture of one. A Dementor. The Dementors can kill your soul. And one other thing, a Death Eater can kill your soul. It's a big topic, isn't it? Everybody talks about the soul. On the internet, there's a list of the 17 most soul-crushing jobs in the world. Guess what one of the number ones is? Telemarketer. Yeah. How many of you like to? No. That's why it's a soul-crushing job. And the next time, and this is why, because the next time a telemarketer gets through to you, you could put this meme. The next time you get a call from a blocked number, answer the phone and say, "It's done, but there's blood everywhere," and then hang up. It's fun for us, but it might not be so fun for them. A doctor 100 years ago did an experiment to see if he could figure out how much a soul weighed. So he took 7 people right before they died and weighed them. Right the moment they died, he weighed them again. And he realized that the soul weighs exactly 21 grams. Science or not science? You decide, but may God rest their 21-gram souls. When someone gets into trouble, this is the universal signal of, "Come help me." What is it? SOS. What does that stand for? Save our souls. And by this time in the sermon, some of you are thinking, "No, Dennis, that means save our sermon. Please, somebody." Well, Jesus actually talked a lot about the human soul. And one day a hotshot lawyer, probably from Harvard Law School, asked Jesus this question. "Teacher, professor, rabbi, what do I need to do to get in on the kind of life that God offers?" And you'll recognize Jesus' answer probably in Luke 10:27. He says, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul," there's that word, "with all your strength and with all your mind, and love your neighbor as yourself." And in this verse, Jesus lays out the 5 essential elements that humans are made up of. And Dallas Willard, whom I quote a lot in his book Renovation of the Heart, where he spends a lot of time talking about the soul. And he says that there are really 5 parts to human being that Jesus refers to here. And the most central part of us is our will. It's our ability to choose this or that. It's our ability to choose to do evil or to do good. It's what makes us a someone and not a something. And then the next part of us is our mind, our thoughts, and our feelings go in this as well. So our mind is often linked to our feelings very closely. We cannot have a feeling without something going on in our mind, without how we think about it. And so we have our mind, and then we have our body. It's how we're present in our reality. We have this physical stuff called a body. And it's like a body's like a little power pack. It's how we get around. It's how we're known. It's how we express all these other parts of our lives. Our bodies act and react to what we think, what we feel, what we choose to do or not do. Our bodies sometimes take on too much importance when it comes to our identity. And then we have the social part of us. None of us arrived here on our own. We were born into some kind of family, in some kind of relationships. Someone raised us. We have a culture. We have a community. We have a country. And oftentimes, this part of our lives helps shape our identity as to who we are. And this is why when that hotshot lawyer asked Jesus for the most important commandment, Jesus actually gave him two. This is where the love your neighbor as yourself part comes in, because Jesus knows part of our basic makeup is our interconnectedness relationally. And then there's our soul. And our soul is the part of us, that aspect of us that integrates everything else. Our soul is the dimension of us that puts it all together, if you will. Dallas Willard wrote this, and it's a long quote, but I think it's really worth it. He says, what matters most, what marks your existence, the really deep reason why human life matters so much, is because of this tiny, fragile, vulnerable, precious thing about you called your soul. You're not just a self. You are a soul. You're a soul made by God, made for God, made to need God, made to run on God. Our soul is like the inner stream of water which gives strength, direction, and harmony to every other aspect of our life. When that stream is as it should be, we are constantly refreshed and exuberant in all that we do because our soul itself is then profusely rooted in the vastness of God and His kingdom, including nature. And all else within us is enlivened and directed by that stream. Therefore, we are in harmony with God, reality, and the rest of human nature and nature at large. In other words, we are alert and aware times 4. We're not just a self. The self is a standalone, do-it-yourself unit. People who don't access the presence of God in their lives go through life this way. It's the self stuffed with the self and nothing else. And we really see the tremendous value of a healthy soul in Jesus' question in Matthew 16:26, when He asks, what good will it be for someone to gain the whole world and yet forfeit their soul? Or what can anyone give in exchange for their soul? And this is not a heaven question. This is a health question. See, Jesus is asking a diagnostic question, which I'll ask us. What do we often give in exchange for the health and vitality of our soul? What is running our lives at any given moment is our soul. Not external circumstances, not our thoughts, not our intentions, not even our feelings. It's our souls that take in all the input from all of these circumstances, from all of these aspects of our lives. It's our soul that take it all in and put it all together, and it becomes kind of a soul stew. And if God is present there, it's a healthy soul stew. And the result is that my everyday normal peacemaking life is marked by contentment, joy, and great confidence in God. It works. For instance, we all have cars probably, and cars have lots of different systems in them, right? But the point of the car is to take you somewhere. The point of the car is to be a car, not just be tires, not just be a motor, not just be these separate elements. And so you have a tire system on your car. And if your tires are out of balance, or you have a flat tire, you can still go. The car will still move, but guess what? It'll either be really rough or you're going to do damage to the car. Or let's say that you have faulty brakes in your car. Oh, you can still go, but what? It's going to be dangerous for you and dangerous for other people. And so in this illustration, this is the entire car, all right? Every system has a role, and oftentimes the health of each system plays into this. But your soul is like it's our entire self. And when all systems are working in order and in a healthy way, we actually have a joy-filled, confident, grateful life. But here's the problem. The soul can get sick. And the Bible has a word for this. It's called sin. And I know that we often equate sin with immoral behavior, but not all sin is intentional immoral behavior. In fact, sin is either doing those things that are destructive to my life or others' lives, or not doing those things that are constructive for my life or other people's lives. You've heard Pastor Ryan say that sin is doing things that wound me or others. It also includes not doing those things that could lead to my spiritual health. I mean, it's like a child that never goes to school. It's not immoral not to go to school. There are a lot of kids in the world that would love to go to school, but just can't. But you do know that going to school will affect their future in a lot of ways. In the book of James, there's a description of a person who has a sick soul. The diagnosis in James 1:8 says, such a person is double-minded and unstable in all they do. And that word for double-minded is interesting because it literally means double-souled. It means split-souled. It means unfocused, uncentered, out of balance. And if we're honest, I think we all have to admit there are really two me's. There's the me you see, and there's the me I see, and there's the me that I let you see. And the me that I let you see can be managed, massaged, faked, prettied up. Unfortunately, perhaps many of us spend too much time and effort promoting the me that I want you to see instead of the me that's the really me. You see, when our interior world is healthy, we can deal with our exterior world. And the reason it works that way is because the exterior world is so large and complex and unpredictable. You can never control it. You can only respond and react to it. Jesus said in Matthew 5:8, you're blessed when you get your inside world, your mind and your heart, and I don't think it's stretching it to add your soul put right. Then you can see God in the outside world. And there are a lot of symptoms of a sick soul. I want to give you 5. And as I go through them, see if you can go, oh, yeah, that's me. Or that sometimes is me. Number 1, we have difficulty making decisions. Steve Jobs, who was the co-founder of Apple, could certainly be called a single-minded person. He had no trouble making decisions. In fact, it's said that his wardrobe consisted of blue jeans and black turtlenecks because he didn't want to spend any time making decisions in the morning about clothes to wear because those don't matter. He wanted to focus all his energy on the most important decisions. A healthy soul is able to say yes to the most important things and say no to the less important things. Here's the second symptom. We feel constantly vulnerable to people and circumstances. Pontius Pilate probably is a great example of a sick soul. He was so vulnerable to people and circumstances around him, he couldn't decide what to do with Jesus. First, he wants Jesus to decide what to do with Jesus. And then he wants the political rulers to decide. And then he wants the religious rulers to decide. And finally, get this, he leaves the future, the crucifixion of the Christ, the God who comes as a human being into our reality. He leaves that decision up to an enraged mob. Our souls are sick when we are overly concerned about what others think or do. We stress over obstacles and challenges we face. We live with high levels of fear and anxiety. Number 3, we lack patience, symptom of a sick soul. In fact, if this is you, you often think patience is for wimps. Because for every saint-like human being dancing through life, there are at least 5 of us who are just trying to get through the day without, murdering somebody, right? For instance, you're driving. And you're going to Denver, and you're cruising along, and all of a sudden you get hemmed in by a truck in front of you and a slow-moving vehicle beside you, and you can't move. And you go slower and slower and slower. And all of a sudden you realize, I've been contemplating the murder of that person for the last 10 minutes. You might have a problem with impatience. Or let's say you're at the grocery store shopping, and you pull up to the checkout counter, and you enter the line. It says 15 items or less, and you count the items, and you have 17. And you pull into that row, and you're just tapping your foot in, and you begin to count the number of items in the person's cart in front of you. And they have 19. And so you sigh really loud, look in their cart, look them in the eye, sigh really loud, and then take your cart to another line. You might have a problem with impatience. Or you also you might have internet impatience. Thank you, Jess. You might have internet impatience. Anybody of you have this? You want to watch a movie? It won't load. It won't load. You know, like 5 seconds goes by and it's not even worth it. Wait, maybe. Maybe if I exit Chrome and then restart it, it'll go faster. So you do that. Nope, that didn't work. Okay, let's try another movie. Nope, okay, let's restart it again. Any of you have internet impatience? A healthy soul is at rest. Even when life is busy and hectic. There's a sense of pace and rhythm and proportion. Here's number 4. We're easily thrown off our game. Has anyone ever ridden one of those mechanical bulls? Anybody? I've got a picture of one on here, and I picked one that's pretty foggy, so you can imagine this is me in a cowboy restaurant in Wyoming one time. I actually had a bunch of buddies talk me into doing this, riding a mechanical bull. And you know how they work, right? We've all seen them. And my buddies actually goaded me into doing it. And before I got on, I was thinking to myself, I thought, you know what? I grew up on a ranch. I've had experience riding animals before. I was in that mutton busting contest in the 5th grade. Sheep, bull, they're both farm animals. What could be the difference? Nothing could go wrong here. And so as I approach the mechanical bull, a smiling young man approaches me with a thing I have to sign. And I read it through, and it basically says, if you're going to be this stupid, don't blame us. That's what the sign. So I signed it. And then he began to coach me. He said, you know, there are various levels of difficulty on these bulls. Actually, there are 12. 12 levels of difficulty. And he said, the secret to riding the bull is not to tighten up. You got to kind of go with it. You got to stay relaxed. You can't like seize control of the thing because you'll never control the thing. You can only respond and you kind of get into the rhythm. And I thought, I could do this. And so I got on the thing. And he turned on the knob and I began to ride this thing. You know, and I'm kind of getting it. And then I look over, he grins, and he turns the knob just like this. This is what he does. And the thing begins to gyrate and jerk around, and I'm falling off the side, and I'm falling off over here. Finally, I decide, I got to get a hold of this thing. So I do exactly what he told me not to do. I grab on, and then I remembered, hey, stupid, don't do it this way. You got to kind of go with it. So I kind of got on it, and I actually rode the thing, and then he started to calm down, and finally it stopped. And I had ridden this bull. It seemed like 30 minutes. It was 8 seconds, right? That's how long a bull ride is, 8 seconds. And I looked at him and I grinned and I said, how was that? Pretty good, huh? And he looked at me and goes, that was level 1. So before I have a chance to get off, he kicks on level 2, and this is what happens. Boom, just like that. I'm off of it. So people with sick souls try to get a grip and control on life. They try to control all their externals. Instead of staying loose and focused and centered and keeping their gravity, keeping their soul about them, they get controlled by external circumstances. People with sick souls are easily thrown off their game. You always feel out of control and flailing around. Number 5, we find our identity in externals. I define myself by my trophies, my accomplishments, my successes, my positions, my long list of accomplishments, my short list of failures, my looks, my beauty, my kids' successes, my friends, my title. So, anyone exhibit any of these symptoms ever in your life, maybe today or even this week? So, how do we have a healthy soul? Let me give us some ideas. Jesus told a parable, really a story one day. And I took just a little liberty with this story, but you'll probably recognize it. I call it the parable of the souls. And it holds 3 keys to a healthy soul. Here's how it goes. It's in Mark 4. Listen, Jesus told this story. A farmer went out to sow his seed. As he was scattering the seed, some fell on the soil of the hard path, and the birds came and ate it up. Some fell on rocky places where it did not have much soil. It sprang up quickly because the soil was shallow. But when the sun came up, the plants were scorched and they withered because they had no root. Other seed fell on the thorny soil, where weeds grew up and choked the plants so that they did not bear grain. Still other fell on good soil. It came up, grew, and produced a crop, some multiplying 30, some 60, some 100 times. You see, a healthy soul thrives and grows and produces fruit. Even though the other three souls were never fruitful in this story, they hold the key to a healthy soul. First, get soft. Keep your soul soft. The hard path, the hard soul is cynical, it's bitter, it's suspicious, it's guarded. Didn't start out that way. Paths don't start out that way. Over time, on a person's soul, people have been walked on and hurt. And those hurts have never been forgiven, they've never been healed, they've never been grieved. And so that person develops a hard soul. Their regrets and disappointments. The hardened soul can carry a sense of entitlement, play the victim. People with a hard soul live with a lot of fear of being rejected, fear of being hurt again, fear of failing, fear of looking foolish, fear of looking bad. And so, to borrow a Brene Brown term, it armors up. It creates a hard path. And by soft, I mean humble, receptive, like a soil, soft soil would receive a seed. Eager to learn. And I think this is especially true of soft souls. Quick to love. They're quick to love. Jesus was quick to love always. And no matter who, no matter what the circumstances, and it seemed like Jesus' love was much more evident with people who felt the most unloved in that culture. And Jesus would often seek out those people. And the basic posture of a soft soul toward God is yes. Soft soul. So get soft. Number 2, go deep. The second soul in the story doesn't have any depth. There's a little layer of topsoil, and then underneath it is rock. And so when there's a little bit of moisture and the plant grows up, when the heat gets on, there's no root, there's no depth to this plant, and so it shrivels when the heat is on. This was very interesting to me. I had a conversation with a pastor in another community just 2 weeks ago. And I asked him why churches that are inclusive and diverse and more open than other churches don't seem to be growing as much as churches who are not that way. And his response was very passionate. He said this: lots of people are afraid to question the answers that they were taught as kids. They don't want the struggle, they want easy. They want security. They don't want gray, they want clarity. They don't want complexity, they want simplicity. They don't want a big, vast, mysterious God with their little bit of understanding. He says they're content with their little bit of understanding, and they want this much mystery when it comes to God. He was very passionate. He said they don't want various and sometimes competing interpretations of the Bible. They want someone who's been to seminary, or at least Bible school, or at least knows someone who has read the Bible or did those things to tell them exactly what the Bible says so they don't have to struggle with ambiguity. He says, people's faith is simply too shallow. Whoa, I said, all righty then. And I just want to say to us all, if you stick around Crossroads, I guarantee you that our desire is to help you go deeper in your understanding and experience of God, about what we know about God and about what's mysterious about God. I'll guarantee you're going to be challenged. You're going to be challenged to change your mind about some things, especially about this: who and how we love. Around here, maturity will not be measured by how much we know, by who we know, how much we've done. The maturity yardstick will be, how much do we love? Because after all, that was Jesus' yardstick, wasn't it? Can we honestly say that we love God with our whole soul? Can we honestly say we love our neighbors as much as we love ourselves? Well, I hope you'll stick around, because we're going to learn to do that. You're going to help me. I hopefully can help you learn to grow up and learn to love by going deep and deep into love. And the third kind of soil that was unproductive was the soil that never produced any fruit because it was so cluttered. so cluttered with plants. And so the third key is to unclutter. The definition of a weed is a plant out of place. That's what a weed is. So you can have a stalk of corn, which we normally wouldn't call a weed, but if it's in the bean field, it's a weed because it's going to affect the productivity of the beans. And so if Dad said, hey, go pull all the weeds out of the bean field, and I'm pulling up corn, he's not going to get on my case for pulling up a crop that, in the next field over, that's where the corn belongs. Corn is good, but not if it's in the wrong place because it's crowding out other things. Dallas Willard was asked one time, what is the secret to a healthy soul? And he said this, ruthlessly eliminate hurry from your life. And to eliminate hurry, we have to eliminate clutter. Busy is the state of our schedules. Hurry is the state of our souls. You can be busy and not hurried. The hurry that most of us experience isn't because we're doing good things and bad things. It's because we're trying to grow corn and beans and broccoli and cabbage and cauliflower all in the same field at the same time. And it's exhausting. Pastor Ryan talked this last week about developing some margin. To develop margin in our lives, we have to unclutter. And that all those things are, getting soft, going deep, and uncluttering is not just going to happen. Not just going to happen. So I'm going to go back through these, and I want to give you some ideas on how to do this. And again, don't try to do all three. Pick one. Pick one. And this is the question that we ask every week. What is God inviting us into? It's on your Connect card. Some of these things are. So I'm going to go back through these and give us some ideas. So the get soft key action is love. A soul that is overtly loving soul. Consciously say yes to those God nudges that come into your life. I was the recipient of one today. I had a guy call me. I've known him for years. We haven't talked in 15 years. He said, I was going through some papers. I saw your name. I decided to call you. We had that lovely conversation. That's a God nudge to reach out to me and say, hey, Dennis, I care about you. And his last comment before he hung up was, hey, Dennis, I love you. Click. It's wonderful. Call the person. When you get that nudge, send the text. Write the note. As Ryan said, buy that chicken pot pie and put it in your freezer so that when the neighbor next door needs a dinner, you've got one. Pay double for the lemonade that the little girl's selling at the end of the street. I did that this week. It was lemonade. It was kind of lukewarm, watered down lemonade, and I paid double. And I loved the look on her face when I said, here's $2. And here's why I do it is because my kids and grandkids have been at the end of the same street, and I've seen people love on them. But if there's a lemonade stand, always stop and pay double. Love. Soft soul is an overtly loving soul. Here's some ideas about going deeper. And my key word here is ponder. Stay curious. Let's finish out this summer growth thing that we're in, right? Many of us have signed up for it. Maybe we've drifted away. Let's finish it strong. If you didn't sign up for it, it's not too late to start. I know there's just like a week or so left, but jump in. It's terrific. But here's the bigger idea. When you're challenged with a new idea or thought about God that makes you uncomfortable or upset or tempts you to go to another church, keep listening. Keep probing. Stay curious. Be willing to push through the disorientation. Be willing to stay in the disorientation for a while. Sometimes to get to greater clarity, we have to become disoriented first. We have to actually unknow some things, unlearn some things in order to move to the next stage. And it's uncomfortable. It's hard. And if you're in that place, make an appointment. Come talk to me. Come talk to Isaac. Come talk to Jess. Come talk to Katie. Come talk to Ryan. Come talk to Wendy. Come talk. Just go, hey, I'm struggling here. Can you tell me more about this or help me with this? Read. Keep reading. One author I've read a lot of his books. He said this. He says, people stop reading me too soon. And I thought, we do that a lot, don't we? We stop reading too soon, or we stop discussing too soon, or we stop asking the questions too soon because we want to get to certainty, because we love certainty. But if we're going to love certainty, we're going to end up with a God about this big. Because this is about how much certainty we're going to get with a God who's this big, this big. And then finally, the unclutter key action is to savor. And to realize all that stuff that we cram our lives full of, we don't need all of it. Because we don't experience all of it anyway. Savor some of the things that we have. We've all heard the phrase, less is more. But before less feels like more, it just feels like less. Right? That's the way it works. And so when it feels like less, stay there. Savor that. Because there might be a surprise in that. If we could learn to savor. As many of you know, my son has triplet girls who are just about 3. And I was over there this week at his house, and he has a little strawberry patch. And so I took the triplets out, and I was picking strawberries for him. So I would pick them and put them in his hand, and they would take them and eat them. And Ivy, and the 2 of the girls have very high voices, but Ivy has a low voice. And she was just standing right here by my hand. And she would say to me, "More strawberries, Papa. More strawberries, Papa." And I would pick some, and I'd put them in my hand. And she was like a gambling addict with a slot machine in Las Vegas with coins. She was just like one after the other into her mouth. And I remember saying to her at one point, "Ivy, did you taste any of them? You've had 42 by now." And aren't we this way with so much of our life? We're addicted to the more. We've got so much clutter sometimes that we're just like, more this. We go from this to that, to that, to that, to that. And what I want us to do is to learn to savor what I'm going to call strawberry moments. The next time you eat a strawberry, I want you to smell it. I want you to lick it. I want you to just take a little bite off the end. Chew it around in your mouth. Bigger bite. Taste it. Another bite. Taste it. Savor. And we can learn to savor other kinds of experience, what I call strawberry moments, a conversation where you just need to linger there, right? You need to linger in that moment because something important has happened. There's an intimacy, there's a closeness, there's a strawberry moment happening, and just let all the other clutter just go by. Or it might be a sunrise or a sunset where we just, oh, that's pretty, and no, we stand and we enter into it and we appreciate it. We see the color and all the textures of the colors. Or first cup of coffee in the morning. Smell it, sip it, taste it. Don't just gulp down 3 cups because you need the caffeine hit. Savor. Or if you're changing your 12th diaper of the day or cramming some mac and cheese down your 4-year-old's throat because you need to rush off to do something and you miss it. You miss the touch of the soft skin on the baby's face. Look them in the eyes. Savor. Connect. Discover anew why you had this child in the first place. Discover anew that this child loves and you love and you connect. As one mom put it, the days are long, but the years are short. Savor life. It will help us unclutter ourselves. So, question, how would having a soft, deep, uncluttered, fruitful soul, how's that sound to you? How's it sound if I could have a soft, deep, uncluttered, fruitful life? Well, I want to end tonight, our time, by just having you close your eyes. Get comfortable. I won't ask you to do anything weird, trust me. Just close your eyes where you are. If you're online, just close your eyes. Get comfortable. Just let the sounds, if you're at a house somewhere and there's a lot of sound, just try to keep them out. Take a couple deep breaths. Breathe in. Breathe out. I want to give you a moment to listen for your soul. To listen for your soul to whisper to you, to speak to you right now. And if you listen quietly enough, if you're persistent, you might hear your soul say something like this: I've been waiting. I'm shy, terribly shy. Even in the most boisterous person, I'm shy. I can only whisper. I never shout. You may never even notice me, but I'm here, waiting. I do not lie on the surface. If you want to find me, go deeper. If you look and listen patiently, you will learn to recognize my voice. I speak through your confusion, through your wanting. I speak through your hurt. When you are addicted, it's I that's chained. When you hurry, it's I that's left waiting at the curb. I can be wounded, lost, repulsed. The good news is I can be redeemed. When you watch a sunset or hear a child laugh, when you eat a strawberry or listen to a piece of music that causes you to suddenly become choked up, it's I that causes your eyes to fill. It is I that bring the fragments of your life together into one healthy, flowing stream of water. Your circumstances actually matter far less to your happiness than you think. It is my health that makes your life heaven or hell. And someday, when the sun burns up and the universe melts away, I will be here. I am your soul. What will you do to me? What will you do for me? I am waiting. I am here. I am you. Amen. Amen. Well, that's all I've got. So, but as you leave, don't forget to fill out that Connect card. If you're giving the offering here, the kiosks are here. There's a number of boxes on that Connect card. There's some about get soft and go deep and unclutter. And it's, we're not going to call you about that. It's just something between you and God to say, you know what, I'm going to try to do one of these things. And there's other opportunities there. I hope you'll fill that out and grab a cup of coffee, and we'll see you next week for our final installment. And don't forget, on Sundays, we meet only at 10. All right? One service on Sundays. See ya.
April showers in the month of May. The ground's still wet and the sky's still gray. But you're still shining. No cadences or chords to play. No melodies or words to say. But you're still singing. And it keeps me breathing. When I fall apart into a million pieces, when I don't know where to start, you put me back together. right.